Hello, my name is Alice, and if you've been watching my videos or if you follow me on Twitter, you know I really like the author Alice Oseman. If you are new here or if you've not read any of her books, then she is an author that writes YA contemporaries, and I just think her writing style and characters are beautiful. So today I'm going to be doing a book review on her newest release, Loveless. I would like to start by saying that I think this is a super important book. It has conversations that we don't usually see in literature, regardless of the genre or age level. So I really do think this is something people could enjoy, regardless of what they usually read. Hopefully I am able to convince you in this video that there's something in there for everyone. But just as a little summary, it is about a girl named Georgia. She just finished high school and she's going into her first year of university, and it takes place during her first year of university. So the thing about Georgia is, even though she's 18 years old and she is in university, she has never kissed anyone and she's never had a significant other. She's not even had crushes on people, really, boys, girls, anyone. This is very different than her friends and peers and, you know, just anyone ever represented in the media, because we live in this very hypersexualized culture that really focuses on dating and relationships and, you know, hooking up and loving people and all that. And this is just not anything Georgia is either experiencing or really wants to experience. So the entirety of this book mainly focuses on Georgia figuring out these feelings. So the first, most obvious reason why I'm saying you should drop everything and read Loveless immediately is because it discusses both asexuality and aromanticism. I'm gonna take a bold step and dare to say that asexuality is one of the least represented sexualities in not only just fiction and literature, just in general. But Loveless does a great job of representing asexuality and also getting into the difference between asexuality and aromanticism. I think the other thing I really liked is not only was the main character both asexual and aromantic, this topic of sexuality and romance was discussed in depth. I have read a few books with asexual characters, but I've never seen a book that discusses it in such detail and has so many conversations relating to asexuality. I think if you are someone who has ever experienced feelings that may put you on the ace spectrum, you're gonna hear things in this book that you've never seen written in text, like in fiction text. I think Alice Oseman does a great job of capturing real feelings that may not always be discussed in real life. And if you've never experienced feelings that may put you on the ace spectrum, I think this is a great way to get a feel for what it might look like if someone is ace. This book is an own voices book, so of course it's fiction. It's not necessarily Alice Oseman's direct actual experiences, but I would say she is qualified to write about ace experiences. Of course, not everyone experiences sexuality the same way, so this is just her interpretation. But I think if you are not on the ace spectrum, this is a really good novel to help you get a better understanding of what asexuality is like. Because even if you know what asexuality is, I think it's just a different experience when you are actually seeing that in action, for lack of a better phrase. But this is a good way to see what a person who is asexual, even if this character is fictional, might experience, what they might feel, how other people might react, or just how that whole journey of coming to terms with asexuality might be like. My second reason is that Alice Oseman's writing is gorgeous in the way that it's relatable and realistic. I found lots of references to modern culture in this book, and sometimes that does bother me. And I think if you are not submerged in that kind of culture, obviously you're not going to get those references. But I just thought she added them in a way that really worked with the story. Sometimes I find modern references kind of annoying or cringy in a way, but I just thought she made the writing flow and it felt like teenagers, young adults in the real world right now. The other thing that I thought was really realistic and so well done is that Alice Oseman really respected the fact that people have different experiences. For example, Georgia, who's never kissed anyone at age 18, I feel like so many, especially movies, but also books, have this idea that all teens want is to, you know, hook up with people, whatever. But this book does such a good job of normalizing the fact that even if that hypersexualized culture is what is always displayed in the media, that's not the reality of most teens, or at least a lot of them. The characters were so supportive in this book, and it really gave a good variety of experiences and personalities, because in reality not everyone experiences things at the same time or in the same way or at all. And again, Alice Oseman just does a really good job of representing that. My third reason you should read this book is because it actually focuses on sexuality. Like, that's at the heart of the story. It's not skirted around. This is something that is discussed in detail, but Alice Oseman does a great job of bringing more themes into this. She does a beautiful job of representing friendship and the whole ups and downs that come with friendships. And of course, she does a great job of self-discovery and identity. And I just really liked her interpretation of university experiences, because once again, as I said before, not everyone experiences the same thing, and she represents this wonderfully. My fourth reason I already kind of mentioned, but I really loved how understanding the characters were. I have read LGBT books and an asexual book that use fear of people who are not straight as like a plot point. And while that is very much realistic, I think sometimes that gets tiring. So even if characters did not understand at first in this book, they did eventually. And I really liked that, because I think it's important to represent that viewpoint in fiction, because someone out there is going to understand you. And I think it can become kind of hopeless when books constantly represent LGBT plus characters not being understood, or, you know, having violent or negative reactions. So I really liked that there was so much support in this book. Number 5 is I really liked the range of emotions in this book. There was happiness, there was sadness, there was a great portrayal of confusion, there was hope. There was just so many elements that made me want to keep reading, made me feel so much, and it was just so well done, as I keep saying. I thought this range of emotions was important because, again, so many times when it comes to LGBT plus characters, there's such a heavy focus on the negative emotions, all the pain, the suffering, the confusion, and I liked that this book showed way more than that. Of course, there was confusion, and I thought Alice Oseman did a great job of showing all the confusion, because of course Georgia feels confused that she's not like her other peers and friends. But I really liked that it wasn't all doom and gloom. There were happy moments, the characters connected, there were great friendships, and there was just so more than the whole struggle aspect of sexuality. And my last reason is that this book has a happy ending. I know some people really like angsty, sad, emotional, depressing books. I like those kinds of books, but this book was such a great break from all the, again, doom and gloom, and I just really liked the way that this ended, because you know what, asexual people should be happy, so why not end it on a happy note? So in conclusion, Alice Oseman's book Loveless was beautifully done. I am in every way impressed with it. 5 stars from me. Literally, look at how many post-its I put in here. I even tried to match the post-its to the cover, and then I ran out because I used so many. But yes, you should definitely read this one. I'm gonna put a link in the description so you can buy it. Support Alice Oseman, read her other books if you haven't already. But yeah, I am super impressed with this. I've been looking forward to it since I found out it was coming out, and I am so happy that it was everything and more that I was expecting it to be. Thank you for watching, and subscribe and stick around if you want to see me blab about Alice Oseman some more. During her first year of university. Excuse me. This book is an own voices book, so I'm not saying that